Mark, and we are bringing you today the League One guys Wednesday night challenge race. This is in the Peugeot 908 HDi. That's been running for a few weeks now. Had to postpone a few races, which is why we're still here. We should be on about week 6 or 7. We're actually on to week 5. We are in Italy. We're in Monza. And we are on the no chicane track. It's actually called no chicane track, although there is a chicane. It is just not the main one on the main straight. So very fast track. Just over 3 miles, 3.6 miles, only 9 turns. So as I say, very fast track. Speeds in excess of 190 miles an hour on the straight. So as I say, we're with the League One guys. They've been out there, they've done some qualifying. You'll have to excuse me, I've got a bit of a croaky throat. Sorry about that. But don't worry, I have got my tea with me, so I should be having regular slurps of tea just to try and keep my throat clear. So yeah, the guys have been out, done the qualifying. We'll just go down the grid order. Only got 9 on the grid, but it should make for some great racing. We may have to do a little bit of editing towards the end as the guys spread out. We'll see how we get on. So in pole position we've got a regular face, Neil Farmack. Just alongside him is Wadru. Unforgiven in 3rd. Derview is in 4th. Tempio in 5th. That's a new name to me. Looking forward to seeing Tempio race. We've got Love Rocket Rods in 6th. Grasshopper 7th. Kenny D in 8th. And Viking Daddy in 9th. So we will get those lights out. We'll get this race started. It's scheduled for a 60-minute race. All compound tyres to be used unless we have any rain, but it's not scheduled for rain. I did check the weather map before coming on air, and it's, as I say, it doesn't look like it's all nice and clear. So just the 3 tyres to be used: medium, soft and hard. So without further ado, let's get those lights out and get racing. And we are away, and Neil and Woodrow going side by side already. Good start off the line there from Woodrow, good reaction time, and he has taken up that position 1. Unforgiven challenging Neil Farmack already as they take that first right hand turn. Everybody's still there. Now they're coming up to the chicane, not the main one, as I've said. Ooh, 2 side by side, Neil and Woodrow there. They did well to get round there in one piece. So Neil Farmack has retaken the lead from Woodrow. A good move there at the chicane. I just want to change the view slightly just so we can see what's going on. You can see everybody now falling in line behind Neil. So through the S-bends onto what I shall call the back straight. Already Neil and Woodrow opening up a little bit of a gap. Tempio has made his way to 3rd, so he's had a great start as Tempio. I'm not sure, is that a Belgian flag? I think it is. So Tempio will cross the line to start lap 2 in 3rd position. It does look like we've had somebody drop into the pits already. We've had Grasshopper. So Grasshopper on the racing hard tyres decided that he's had enough of them. Oh, Woodrow just put a challenge in on Neil. Let me just go back and have a quick look at that. So it was on the straight. Obviously got into the slipstream, and an easy pass there for Woodrow on Neil. Neil, I'm sure, will just stick with him. It's all going to be about tyre wear on this race. I was involved in a similar race at the same time. Although the tyres did wear, it was the fuel that ran out before the tyres Maybe that's just my style of driving, I don't know. These guys obviously a lot faster than I am. It may be a different story for these, but it was definitely a problem with fuel in my race. So it'd be interesting to see what strategy these guys run out, as Woodrow runs very wide on that turn. That's going to allow Neil to get a little bit closer, definitely get into the slipstream. If he can get a good exit on this final turn, he should be able to get right up to the back of Woodrow. Oh, and Neil's gone wide as well. Not going to hold him up too much. Let's just go on board with Neil. You can see it gaining because of the slipstream. You can see how quickly he's gaining on Woodrow. Now, will he make a move, or is he going to be happy to just sit there knowing Neil? Oh, Woodrow's making it very difficult for him, isn't he? Neil having a bit of a cheeky look at the inside. Decided better of it. He's just going to sit behind Woodrow now. Probably do a bit of fuel saving. So let's just go down the pack then. So Tempio under a bit of pressure from Derview. A great livery on that car as well. Derview making an easy pass on Tempio there. Did make it look easy, didn't he? We've now got Love Rocket Rod in 5th. He's just chasing these two. He's not that far behind. Slight gap to Kenny D with Viking Daddy. Now put him in under pressure. Viking Daddy in the slipstream. Let's just see if Viking Daddy's going to make a move before this final turn. It looks like he had a look, didn't he? I think he's just letting Kenny know he's there. Now, good exit. We'll get him right up to the back of Kenny, into that slipstream as we saw with Neil and Woodrow. Let's just stay with Kenny and Viking for the minute. Is Viking Daddy going to put? Yes, he is. You can see it darts to the inside. Ooh, was that a bit of a touch there? No harm done. Both still on track. And I'm sure it was nothing intentional. Oh, it looks Viking. Oh, and he's got a reset as well. I'm just going to pop back and have a look at this. So Viking Daddy, as he approaches the chicane, I think he may have just been a little bit late on the brakes. Yeah, missed the turn completely. And instead of carrying on, he got reset. It's only dropped him. He's only in 7th, so it's not cost him a massive amount. It's cost him a bit of time behind Kenny, and it's allowed Unforgiven to get a little bit closer. Keep it on the track though, Viking. Unforgiven there in 8th. Had a bad start. I think, if I remember right, he was 3rd on the grid, 3rd or 4th on the grid. So he's just had a bit of a bad start there. I'm sure he'll do everything he can to work his way back up through the pack though. He's on the racing softs. So he's decided to go with the softs for the first stint. And then we've got Grasshopper in 9th, having made the early stop. Also on the softs now, brand new set of softs. So back up to our current leaders, Neil and Woodrow. Neil just starting to open up a little bit of a gap to Woodrow. Time for a quick swig of tea, I think. Oh, that's better. That's helped the throat. Well, you can see that Neil and Woodrow have opened up a real gap now. Neil's starting to stretch his legs a bit. Woodrow sitting comfortably in 2nd. Let's just have a look at the tyres. So Woodrow's on softs, Neil's on softs. Derview also on softs. He's in 3rd at the minute. He's started to pull away from Tempio. He's decided to go with racing hard, so different tactics from Tempio. Excuse me. Doing well though to be in for. Oh, it looks who's gone off there. It looked like it was Unforgiven. So he's trying to challenge Viking Daddy for that 7th position. Enters the S-bends, and I think he's just got the power down a little bit too quickly there into the gravel, but back onto the track very quickly. So good recovery from Unforgiven. Lives to carry on fighting. Also on the softs, as we say, Viking Daddy on the softs. He's now crept right up to the back of Kenny D. So can Viking make a move on Kenny? It looks like he's going for it, side by side. And Viking has got his nose in front. Look like a bit of lag going on there as well from Viking Daddy, unless he's just wrestling with the steering wheel. Good move though. So Viking Daddy's moved into 6th now. Kenny dropped to 7th. Unforgiven in 8th. And Grasshopper catching slowly, but he is catching. In 9th. So we're just going to drop back up to Neil and Woodrow. Nothing's changed there. Tyres don't look too bad actually for Neil. It's a 60-minute race, so we're probably looking at around the 20-minute mark for the first real set of pit stops. That'll be when the fuel starts to run out. As you can see, Neil, if you can see, bottom left there, Neil has got just over half a tank of fuel, and we're just coming up to what, 9.5 minutes. So 10-minute mark will be about half a tank, so 20 minutes will be the time to stop and refuel. So three stops. Pretty easy to work out. That's if you are fuel saving. These cars, you do tend to short shift to try and save on fuel. So unless somebody out there is absolutely giving it the beans, they should all be coming in at roughly the same time. So let's have a look at Derview. Very lonely race for him so far. He's got nothing in front, nothing behind. The best thing you can do, Derview, put the radio on, chill out with a bit of Beethoven or something, just enjoy the scenery. So this seems to be where the battle is, or it's not really a battle at the minute, but we've got a group of cars, so we'll call it a battle. So Tempio in 4th, Love Rocket Rods in 5th, then we've got Unforgiven. Unforgiven's made his way into 6th, so well done Unforgiven after he came off, went into the kitty litter earlier on, made his way back to 6th. Kenny D, he's on the racing hard, so that would probably explain why Kenny's struggling a little bit. So Unforgiven will have to use the hards at some point, and Kenny's going to be getting rid of them shortly. Grasshopper made his way into 8th. Did do that early stop. And Viking Daddy in 9th. Well, something must have happened to Viking Daddy. I'm sorry we missed that one, but he is way down now. He is a good few seconds behind Grasshopper, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. He's definitely had a moment and come off the track, I would imagine, unless, no, he's not stopped. I was going to say unless he's stopped, but he's not. You can see his tyres are wearing, so I think he's definitely had a moment. But come on, Viking Daddy, you can catch up. You can catch up. Just concentrate. So back up to our race leader then, Neil. Trying to extend that gap from Modru. Modru just trying to stay with him. Don't really know much about Neil, apart from he's just very, very quick in any car you put him in. And that's about it. Modru though, a little bit. Great member of the group, very helpful, very technically minded. Any of the guys have any problems with steering wheels and technical equipment, I think it's Wadru is the guy that they go to, which is great. That's what this whole Ultimate Racing League is about. Everybody helping everybody else out. Doesn't matter if you're A+ driver or E rated. Everybody else out. So as I said many times, if you do want to get involved, find us on Facebook. It's the Ultimate Racing League. Go and get involved. If you think you can do better than these guys, or as I say, you just want to get on track and have a race with them, look us up. Hopefully we'll see you on track. There are other races. This isn't just the only thing we do. There is the Sunday League. We have 4 leagues running on a Sunday. They are absolutely fantastic. Good, clean racing, good fun, great chat. And then on the Wednesday we have a season where we'll use same makes or something along those lines. We've done the Suzuki Swifts, they've done the F1s, we've done quite a few, but we're obviously in these Group 1 cars at the minute. Maybe talk of a Group 4 with some ballast being added or something for the next season. We're not sure yet. But yeah, sign up, get involved, and we'll see you on track. So we are now coming up to the 14-minute mark. Unforgiven now into 4th. He's having a great race now. He's really making those racing softs work hard. Sorry, another quick swig of tea there. It's starting to go cold now. Actually, I better hurry up and drink that. Unforgiven does look like he's actually pulling away from Grasshopper. Grasshopper's done a fantastic job as well to get back into 5th. He did have that early stop. Started on the racing hards. I think he's still going to have to make another couple of stops. So I think he's just stopped way too early, but I'm not sure what the rule is, whether you can what are they called, double stack or something on the tyres, so you can use softs and softs again. We do know that you do have to use all 3 compounds, but I don't think there's anything that says you can't use the same compound twice. It just means obviously you've got to make an extra stop. Maybe that's Grasshopper's plan. He would rather take the hit on time for stopping than the time he loses fighting with the hard tyres. So really spreading out now at the back. Love Rocket Rods in 6. He's not that far behind Grasshopper, but there is a bit of a gap there. Oh, Tempio and Viking Daddy now having a fight as they enter the chicane side by side. Good clean move there from Viking Daddy. That's pushed Tempio down into 8th. So Viking Daddy starting to make a bit of a comeback in this race. As I said at the beginning, Tempio is a new name to me, so I've not seen him race before. Hopefully he's going to be sticking around and we shall see plenty more of him. Kenny D has obviously come into the pits. You can see now he's on the softs. He was on hards. He's now changed to the softs. Full tank of fuel, so he's made his first stop. So Kenny now pushing hard to catch back up, which he will do when Tempio and the others come in. You can see Love Rocket Rods has decided to come into the pits now. He's had enough of the hard tyres as well. Viking Daddy has taken that 6. Will Tempio take it? I think he will. Maybe Kenny as well. So this could push Love Rocket Rods down. It is. You can see he's finished fueling, but I think Kenny's going to go past the pit exit before Love Rocket Rods is out, and he has. Well, it looks like we've had a change of leader. So what's happened there? Let's try and go back and see what's... I'm not going to go back too far. Oh, it's quite a way. So, it's quite a way. So, Woodrow now taking the lead from Neil. Apologies we missed that one. And opening up quite a gap as well, Woodrow. So, whether Neil had a bit of a moment as well. So you can see the gap that Woodrow's got. We should see better when he gets onto the straight just how far he is in front of Neil. You can just see Neil coming around the corner there, entering the chicane. So I would suggest that Neil's had a bit of a moment there, maybe gone off line. Has allowed Woodrow through. Both yet to make a stop, both running the soft tyres, although Neil's not looking too bad at the minute. Like I said at the beginning of this race, I think it's going to be more fuel being the issue than tyres. But you can see the if you're looking at the bottom left there at Neil's tyres, you can see the various varying rate of wear. The front right looks almost brand new, and at the rear left looks like it's not got a lot left in it. You can see the fuel lights just come on now. Neil's obviously calculated how much fuel he's got. He knows he can get one more lap out of this. Same with Woodrow. These guys will run it right to the very last drop of fuel in those cars. We did actually on the race I was involved in on Wednesday, we did actually have one of the guys run out of fuel. I think it was an error on his part. He came into the pits and just pressed the do not refuel button in error, but it did cost him quite a lot, obviously. So I'm sure these guys won't be doing that. So Unforgiven now in third, having an absolute stormer of a race. He's really settled in and loving it out there. He's got quite a gap back to Grasshopper. I think we'll start to see some of the guys coming in now. So Grasshopper in fourth, Derview dropped down to fifth. He's had made a stop though, that's what's put him in fifth. So Derview now on the mediums. Viking Daddy, you can see his fuel light flashing, so he's going to have to come in and make a stop. We can just see at the top left there, Woodrow and Neil Farmer are both in. So Kenny still in seventh, Love Rocket Rods in eighth, Tempio in ninth. So all of those, the guys at the back have made their stop. Let's just have a look. Unforgiven, he's going to have to come in. I was going to suggest he might take up the number one spot, but he is going to have to come in. So Neil back out on track in first. Looks like he could be lapping Tempio as well. Neil Farmer back out, he's in second. Grasshopper now taking up the third position. Derview is going to be passing Unforgiven. You can see the fuel going in, but Derview now takes up fourth. Viking Daddy's into the pit, so Unforgiven will rejoin in fifth. Kenny coming through to take sixth. Viking Daddy still in the pits. Let's just have a look where Love Rocket Rods, he's going across the start finish line. Can he get to the end of that pit lane before Viking Daddy comes out? Yes, he can. So Love Quick Rods has taken up 7th. Viking Daddy rejoins in 8th. And we've got Tempio down in 9th, serving a penalty as well. And you can just see just behind him we've got Woodrow who's approaching to lap him. So Tempio does the right thing, just pulls over off the racing line. Or I thought he did. He seems to be giving Woodrow a bit of a hard time there. But Woodrow's made it past. And Tempio can just sit in his slipstream now and get a free tow. It could actually get to the point they could challenge Woodrow to unlap himself, and it does look like he was having a bit of a look then. I don't think he will. I think he needs to let Woodrow get ahead of him a little bit more. Last thing you want is those two having a bit of a come in together. So Unforgiven in the pits now, still in the pits. Let's see where Viking Daddy is. Viking Daddy's going to cross the start finish line. Is he going to take that spot? You can just see Unforgiven coming out of the pit lane. Yeah, Unforgiven rejoins in 7th. Viking Daddy flying up behind him in 8th. Let's have a look what we've got going on. So Woodrow has pulled away from Tempio. Well, the Tempio's slowing down a little bit for him. He's got Neil Farmack coming up behind him, so he's going to have to pull over again. He's getting the blue flags waved. So Neil needs to pass him, or use him actually. He could use his slipstream. You can see the blue flags waving. They're not waving for Neil. They're waving for Tempio, just to make him aware there's a faster driver coming up. Let's have a look. Grasshopper pulled into the pits. Kenny D around the final turn. Is he going to take 4th? As he crosses the start finish line, Kenny goes into 4th. You can see Grasshopper's fully fueled. He will be on his way out the pits now. Kenny D though slots into 4th position. As Grasshopper exits the pit lane in 5th, we've got Love Rocket Rods in 6th. Unforgiven now in 7th after that pit stop. Had a tremendous first stint, got himself into 3rd, so got a bit of work to do again now. Although on the mediums, obviously decided to leave the hards till last. Viking Daddy, however, is on the soft tyres in 8th, so he will do everything he can to catch up to the back of Unforgiven. And then, as we saw, we've got Tempio in 9th. Let's just go on board with Woodrow for a full lap. I'm going to shut up and try and clear my throat and finish this tea, and we'll let Woodrow show you how it's done. So that's Wadru taking us on a near perfect lap. Neil Farmack currently with the fastest lap, a 125.144. Wadru's last lap was a 126.8. His best lap is a 125.3. So not a lot between these two. Looks like Neil might be catching. Neil's last three laps were all in the 126s. Both guys on the mediums. So let's just go down through the pack. See Derview in third, looking very comfortable at the minute. Also on the mediums. Had a very lowly race, hasn't he, tonight? I wonder if he's thinking, shall I slow down, let somebody catch up, just so I can have a bit of a race with somebody. Kennedy in fourth. Again, a lonely race for Kenny. Very hard to concentrate when you're on your own. Grasshopper in fifth, with Love Rocket Rods just behind him, so this is the closest we've got to a battle at the minute. Got Unforgiven in seventh after his pit stop. Viking Daddy 8th and Tempio in 9th. Let's just have a look how far Tempio is. There's Tempio, sorry, there's Viking Daddy in 8th. I'm looking at the top right of the map. You can see the red arrow, that's Viking Daddy as he goes around that final turn. And then you can see how far back Tempio is, so that has got to be a good 30 seconds or so, maybe more. So Tempio not enjoying his first race out in these 908s, but good for him, he's sticking with it. So back up to Wadru and Neil. It does look like Neil's getting a little bit closer with each lap. We're just approaching the 30-minute mark. So Wadru, current leader. Derview in third. You can see quite a way back. Let's just have a look, see if we can find what's happening. So this is where it does seem to be happening. So we've got Grasshopper and Love Rocket Rods. Love Rocket Rods is getting closer by the second. If he can get into the slipstream, he may even be able to make a move on Grasshopper. Here's they're side by side. Love Rocket Rods, I think, has got the better tyres. He's on the softs. Yeah, very easy move for Love Rocket Rods there. Not a lot Grasshopper could do to defend that. Slipstream played a major part in that. Although Grasshopper coming back at him. Let's just go on board with Love Rocket Rods. As we approach the double right-handers, this is the second one. Very easy to go drifting off to the left there and onto the gravel. Love Rocket Rods did it, made it look easy. He is starting to pull away, I think, from Grasshopper. Having made that move, he should do. He's on the soft tyres, Grasshopper on the mediums. Let's just have a look. Yeah, Grasshopper's on the mediums, and so is Unforgiven, but Unforgiven will soon be putting a challenge in on Grasshopper. I'm going to go on by. I do like this this onboard view when you're spectating anyway. I I don't like driving with it because I don't think you can see a lot, but I do like it when you're viewing. And as I'm in charge of the controls, that's what we'll see. You can see just how much that slipstream is helping. Unforgiven is flying up to the back of Grasshopper. Grasshopper doing everything he can to defend that, although Unforgiven got the inside line. Just backing off before we have a pile up in the chicane. That was a good decision from Unforgiven. Loves to fight another day. He's just going to be harassing Grasshopper as we go around these series of turns. May decide to wait until they're on the back straight before making his move. He's just got to stick with him. Nobody behind. So if we can get a good exit from this turn. We're going to follow Grasshopper down to the final turn, the sweeping right-hander. Halfway through the turn, get the power back down again. Oh, that was a great move from Unforgiven. He timed that perfectly. Got a great exit out of that corner. Didn't need the slipstream at all. That was a great move. Although that has allowed Grasshopper to drop into the slipstream of Unforgiven, so Unforgiven does need to try and pull away. So we're just going to drop down and see if there's anything else happening. Oh, it's just caught Viking Daddy. A bit heavy-footed as he came out of that chicane. Yeah, I think he was just a bit too heavy-footed, and the back end had a big complaint. Not really affected his position though. It's put him a few seconds further behind Grasshopper, but he's managed to keep it going on the tarmac, which is the main thing. It's not costing him any places. As I say, nearest to him is Love Rocket Rods, and he is quite a few seconds behind. And then Tempio in 9th, and it is that probably going to be Woodrow just behind him, I think. To lap him again, I'm not sure. Let's just have a look. No, it's not. My mistake, sorry Tempio. Looks like Kenny D had just come into the pits again. We've got 25 minutes left, so let's just have a look, see what Kenny's... So Kenny's put the mediums on. He's going to try and make them last for 25 minutes. The tyres, I think, will last. I think it'll be more the fuel that won't. So Kenny will have to do some serious fuel saving. Although it's not going to help with Unforgiven. Putting him under pressure. Kenny's going to have to give it the beans to try and pull away from Unforgiven, unless he's banking on the fact that Unforgiven has got another stop to make. As I say, it's the fuel that seems to be the issue on this track, not necessarily the tyres. So we'll just stay with these two. Ooh, Unforgiven just running a little bit wide there. That might have cost him a couple of tenths. Trying desperately to get closer to Kenny there, get into the slipstream, as we've seen quite a few times already today. That slipstream really does help. So let's have a look at the speed. So we're at 192, 3, 195 miles an hour. He was being dragged along a bit there, but he couldn't quite get close enough. We've got a purple sector for Unforgiven, so let's keep this going. Neil Farmack with the current fastest lap still, a 125.144. Unforgiven's last lap was a 128, so a bit off the pace there, although as I say, he did pick up a purple sector for this one. We're just going to stick with these two for a second. Just want to see if Unforgiven is going to make any kind of moves on Kenny, or he's just going to sit behind him, try a bit of fuel saving himself. Getting closer. As I say, good exit from this will set you up nicely on this home straight. He is definitely in the slipstream now. Can he get the move done before they get to the chicane? Is he going to have a look? Let's just see. Oh, he's trying, is he? Kenny defending well. Bit of weaving going on there. I think Kenny did a good job. All this, as I say, it's actually helping Unforgiven with his fuel saving in the draft of Kenny, but it's not helping Kenny with his fuel saving because, as I say, with 35 minutes to go when he made his pit stop, just leave these two. No, we won't. We'll stay with them. I was just going to have a look down the order to see what else is happening, but I want to see if Unforgiven can actually get a move done on Kenny. Taking a very tight line there. Oh, he's coming into the pits. So Unforgiven's now coming to make his final stop. I think he's going to have to go onto the hard tyres as well. So Grasshopper's going to come through and take that 5th position away from Unforgiven. Will Viking Daddy as well? I think he will. Viking Daddy crossing the start finishing line. Unforgiven now dropped to 7th. We've got Love Rocket Rods coming through. Neil Farmack's decided to come into the pits as well. So Unforgiven, oh, he's just come out side by side with Love Rocket Rods. Unforgiven on fresh tyres, he's got to get them warmed up, and they're going to be hard tyres as well. No, they're softs, he's gone for another set of softs. Maybe I got it wrong, I thought he started on the softs. So Love Rocket Rods in 7th, he's got Unforgiven, and they've also got Woodrow coming through to lap them, so this should be interesting. Where do they pull over? Off of the racing line to let Woodrow through, as well as continue with their own race. So Love Rocket Rods and Unforgiven battling it out for 7th. With Woodrow, our current race leader, trying desperately to get by. You can see the blue flags are waving, but where or who is going to back out first and let Woodrow through? Well, Love Rocket Rods has made the decision for everybody. He's pulled into the pits, so Unforgiven in 6th. Woodrow has pulled into the pits as well. That could have got very messy. So Woodrow, our current race leader in the pits. Neil Farmack has just taken the final turn. The fuel's going in for Woodrow, but not quick enough. I think Neil is going to take that number 1 spot away. Woodrow's only put 90% of fuel in. Let's just hope there's enough. So Neil now takes up the lead from Woodrow. He's looking at the back of Love Rocket Rods. He's looking to lap him. So Love Rocket Rods will pull off of the racing line, I'm sure, as we get around these double right-handers and let Neil by. So Neil will be saying, I'm sure, under that visor, get out the bloody way, because all the time he's being held up by Love Rocket Rods, Woodrow is getting closer. Neil still can't get by. Maybe Neil just wanting a bit of a tow there. I don't know. He's made the move now. He's finally got by it. So it's now Woodrow's turn. Going back down through the pack then. Derview still in 3rd, having a good steady race. Kenny D in 4th. Let's just have a look. So Kenny's not too far behind. We've got Tempio in between the two of them. That might actually help Kenny with a bit of slipstreaming on this home straight. That might help him get him a little bit closer to Derview. Then we've got Unforgiven all on his own now in 5th. I could have swore he started on racing softs. It may be a tactic, it may be a strategy. He may be coming into the pits again to put the hards on for 1 lap. Or maybe I'm just seeing things. Grasshopper down in 6th. No pressure on him at all. Viking Danny in 7th. Oh, excuse me. So a bit of a coughing fit there. And Love Rocket Rods with a half-second penalty as well in 8th. That'll just be track limits. And Tempio in 9th, who's just going to be lapped, I'm sure, by Kenny momentarily. Back up to our race leader Neil. Does look like he's opening up a bit of a gap. Let's just see if we can see Woodrow in the background. No. So Woodrow just coming through the chicane. Let's have a look. We've got about 15 minutes of this race to go. Neil Farmack on the racing softs. I thought he'd already ran the softs as well. So again, he may have to make another stop. Roger on the hard, so he's not intending to stop again. Derview also on the hards in 3rd. Kenny on the mediums in 4th. He does look like he's catching. He's got by Tempio now. So this is going to be interesting for the final few minutes to see if these guys that have put the extra set of softs on do actually make another stop and go on the hards, because I'm sure there'll be severe penalties. The only problem is Unforgiven is the actual guy that runs URL, so if he doesn't want to give himself a penalty, I'm sure he doesn't have to. I know he wouldn't do that. He does keep everything fair and above board, and we thank him for it. does a fantastic job of keeping this league running. Not just him, obviously, there are other chaps. I don't want to get into all of this, there are other people that help him out, but there we go. Anyway, moving on. I'm not going to give him all the praise. Let's just have a look what we've got then. So, looks like Neil has just lapped Viking Daddy, currently in 7th. Love Rocket Rod's in 8th. See if we can get a shot of who's in front of him. I think that was Viking Daddy, just went round that final turn. Tempio, the new driver. Better things to come from him, I'm sure. Bit of a test for him, this one. Hopefully he's enjoying it nevertheless. So back up to our race leader Neil. Let's just have a look at the, he has got quite a gap to Woodrow, and so he should have as well with the racing soft tyres on. Although, as I said a couple of times, I think he's going to have to stop again. We're just going to keep an eye on that. Right, let's see if we can find out where anybody is who's battling. The nearest we've got is, I think, Derview and Kenny. Yes, Kenny definitely getting closer to Derview. Kenny having a good race tonight. First stint of this race wasn't too fantastic for him on the racing hards, couldn't get on with them at all, but he's since swapped to the softs and the mediums and enjoying it a lot more, it looks. Although my concern for Kenny is the fuel. Having made a stop a little bit earlier than I thought he might. But we shall see. I may be completely wrong. I usually am. So we're just coming up to 11 minutes of the race left. Apart from these two, everybody's pretty spread out, unforgiven. Really is on his own in 5th. I'm pretty sure he's got another stop to do as well. Grasshopper in 6th. Viking Daddy, quite a way off in 7th. Love Rocket Rod's in 8th. And then Tempio down in 9th, having been lapped by most of the field by now. Ooh, chucking a load of gravel onto the track there. That should make things interesting for anybody following. So current leader then Neil, current fastest lap as well, a 1:25.1. He got that quite early on in the race, and it's not been challenged since. So Neil just coming up to lap another back marker. It's Grasshopper in 6th. Unfortunately, there was only 9 racing tonight. We have been having combined lobbies for the last few weeks, but we had 9 in this race and 8 in lobby 2 on Wednesday, so obviously we couldn't combine the two together, which is great. We could just do with a few more drivers getting involved. I think it would make for much better racing if we had a full 16 in each. So as I've said, if you do want to get involved, come and find us on Facebook page Ultimate Racing League. Join up so we can see you out on track. Excuse me. So Neil making it look very easy. Out in front. just have a look. I think he is a good few seconds now. He's got to be at least 10 seconds, I would say, maybe more, to Woodrow. So Viking Daddy into the pits for his final stop. Ooh, I thought that was Kenny and Derview. It's not. It's Kenny trying to get past Tempio. I'm sure Tempio will move over and let Kenny through. But Kenny currently sitting in fourth. You can see just ahead of him is Derview. I was going to say Kenny being held up, but he could actually use the slipstream of Tempio. Oh no, Tempio's coming into the pit, so that's gone out the window, hasn't it? So it's up to Kenny now to try and catch Derview under his own steam. Unforgiven still in fifth. Grasshopper at 6. Dub Rocket Rod 7. Viking Daddy 8th. He's just made his stop. Another set of softs. Getting a bit confused with all this chopping and changing of the tyres. I thought it was all compounds to be used, but it just seems a bit of a free-for-all tonight, unless I'm just not keeping very good track of it all. Yeah, Neil has come into the pits again, so I think he should be putting the hards on. No, he's softs again. No, he is on the hards. There was a bit of a delay in telling us what tyres he'd got on. So Neil has rejoined, still in first on a fresh set of racing hards. Woodrow right behind him now. Also on the hards, but they are warmed up. So let's see if Woodrow can do anything to get past Neil. Kenny D, as you see, has just entered the pits. So Derview takes third on his own. Still, Kenny D was the nearest to him. Kenny in the pits, he's just been taken by Unforgiven. And I'm sure Unforgiven has got to come into the pits as well to get the hard tyres on. Let's just go back up to Neil and Woodrow just for a minute. Let's just see if Woodrow can get onto the back of Neil. May just about be in the slipstream, but I don't think it's going to help him on this lap. So as they enter the chicane with about 5 minutes to go, so we're looking at possibly another 3, maybe 4 laps. Both on the hard tyres. Let's just quickly run down the pack then. So Derview very comfortable on his own in third. Unforgiven in fourth. He's got Kenny not too far behind. 4 or 5 seconds, something like that. For Kenny, Grasshopper in 6. Love Rocket Rod 7. Viking Daddy 8, and Tempio still back in 9th, having been lapped by most of the guys, as I've said. So we'll go back up and follow Neil and Woodrow. Both approaching Love Rocket Rod. You can see just in front of them So can Neil get past Love Rocket Rods with ease, or is he going to be held up? If he's held up, obviously that's going to allow Woodrow to get even closer to him. Let's have a look. Ooh, Neil having a bit of a twitchy moment as we exit the chicane. That's helped Woodrow. Woodrow would have seen that. Let's just follow Neil as you see we've got Love Rocket Rods getting the blue flags waved. It's now there's a bit of a gap to Neil, but so there's no reason for Love Rocket Rods to pull over yet, although he really should be thinking about it. Maybe on the straight, it's not going to cost him anything. Neil takes a very wide line there, doesn't he, on that last turn. Obviously works for him. So Neil in Love Rocket Rods is slipstream. You can see him approaching very quickly. So Neil will want to get by on this move. Very easy. Love Rocket Rods doesn't do anything to hinder that. So Neil safely passed. It's now up to Woodrow. Let's have a look as we go through this chicane. This Love Rocket Rod's going to pull over and let Woodrow through. Maybe on this section of the track. It doesn't look like he's going to make it that easy, does it? Still on the racing line. Woodrow being frustrated by Love Rocket Rods. I mean, at the end of the day, Love Rocket Rods is still in a race. Although, as I say, the nearest to him is Viking Daddy, so it's not going to be that much of a problem. No. He's not going to let him by, so let's just go down the order, because it looks like Woodrow and Neil will both get another lap out of this. Where's Derview? So I think Derview will be the first to cross the line. In third, Unforgiven. So Unforgiven didn't come in. I thought he may have used the hards at the beginning of the race, and I just didn't notice. Now then, will Derview, will he go for another lap, or will he just pull up? We are now approaching the last 30 seconds. No, Derview is going to keep going. Unforgiven, he's going to keep going. So Kenny then, it'll be Kenny that crosses the line first. Oh, unless he can cross that start-finish line in the next 6 seconds. And I think he can. So, will it be Grasshopper? So Grasshopper will be the first to finish then. It can't come quick enough either for him, as looking at that fuel. So Grasshopper's going to bring it home in 6, and you can see Neil there. So Neil takes the win. Well done, Neil. Woodrow second. You can see Grasshopper and Love Rocket Rods have finished. Viking Daddy will be 8th. Let's just go back up to Derview. I think Derview is going to be the next to finish. In 3rd. So great race between Neil and Woodrow. Some good tactical decisions made. I'm sure Derview will be happy with the 3rd. Good steady race, Derview, well done. Unforgiven, bit of an up and down race, but all round I think a very good race for Unforgiven. and he is out of fuel now. This is going to be interesting. So Unforgiven ran out of fuel. Where is Kenny? Kenny with a half-second penalty. Let's have a look at this. Who is going to cross the line first? Oh. So Unforgiven got fourth because Kenny pushed him over the line. Well done, Kenny. Great sportsmanship there. A great finish to that race there. Well done, Kenny. Well, if you did enjoy that one, please hit the like button. If you want to see more, also press the subscribe button. That would really help me out. I shall catch you next week. Don't forget, we do have the Sunday races as well. I'll be broadcasting those on Monday morning, and as I say, the Wednesday night. Next week we are at Spa, so really looking forward to that one. So hopefully you can join me next Thursday morning for the races at Spa. This is Mark signing out. Catch you later.